Alright folks, that took a moment or two longer than expected. I was having issues downloading the replays, but looks like we're good to go now. We got map 1 loaded up here. Before we hop into it though, I did promise somebody in chat I would address this furiously angry. Says, what's the purpose of the mystery bag? The mystery bag can get you loot for your GatherBot profile. If you're watching the channel, this is like, you've been to a million chat channels, you've seen how the bots work, you know, you get points for watching the channel live and donating and whatever. But you also, with GatherBot, have this really cool stat page. If you type in !GatherBot, it'll take you to the website. And on top of the stat page, these stats actually influence actions you do in the channel. Mystery bag can give you loot. Most of the time it's garbage, but sometimes you get a really cool item that can give you like permanently +1 to strength. Or permanently +1 to intelligence. So if you do a poker check and you want to play poker for some Makarovs, you'll have a higher chance to win with more intelligence. Same as if you like coin flip, you have a better chance if you have more luck. When you're doing some of the questing, strength helps you pass some of the checks. There's actually a lot of really cool RP parts to GatherBot. It might not interest some of you guys, and that's totally cool. That's totally fine. But I really love the aspect of it. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with GatherBot. But mystery bags are just a way to get some extra loot. And some of us who were here yesterday probably still... I've got 44 mystery bags I still have to open. Because like Riamar and others keep giving them, and I just don't spam it on cooldown like everyone else does.
I have recently begun my adventures in the questing.
Oh yeah? Are you doing the Sphinx, or which one did you get?
Yeah. I haven't really seen too many other ones, but I got the Sphinx.
Yo! I just got a sick item out of the mystery bag! BaseTradeTV ankle clasp of deftness. This magic item raises your agility stat by 1. Nice.
Say deafness again?
Deftness. Not deafness. Not like I can't hear you. My ankle can't hear you right now. It's got +1 to deafness.
You kind of pronounce it like deftness. It's really
deft, like with the T, because it is
confusing, man.
Deftness.
Mm.
Anyways, some of you guys might not have mystery bags at all. So the way you get mystery bags is you can either donate and buy your own. You get like a shit ton if you do that. Or if someone else donates, sometimes they'll give the whole chat mystery bags. Also, the Bit Boss, to explain. We'll get into the finals here in 1 second, I promise, guys. The Bit Boss also has special things. Like whoever's the current Bit Boss can do Boss Glory, and they get a secret boss reward that no one else can get. They can also tax everybody and take all their 5% of everyone's Makarovs. Like, being the Bit Boss has a lot of reward to it too. But anyways, more GatherBot and some of the fun stuff later. You hear the beeps. Let's hop into it. I have to, of course, hide the timer bar before we swap screens, so just give me 1 sec. I don't want to spoil this for anybody. There we go. You're watching the BTSL finals. It's a best-of-5 finish between these two players. It's a ZVT. And in the lower right, we've got the Red Zerg Solar.
In the top left has the yellow Terran. He is Jinair's Cure.
Also, big thank you to Twitch for making this tournament possible. Baseline prize pool, $400 coming from us and them. On top of the fact that you guys helped us raise another close to $150 through Match Arena. We're at $546 total for the prize of this Grand Finals. That's $46 more than we would have hoped for, and that's awesome. Also means a lot more money for the players playing too.
Yeah. Always that extra benefit. Maybe even the main benefit.
So wants to know how many bags. How do you see how many bags you have to open and stuff? On the GatherBot profile, you also have an inventory. It shows you everything you have.
Right.
But the mystery bags, I don't think is in that tab. It's like in the other one. I don't remember what it's called. I'm not tabbed out right now.
I had trouble finding the amount of mystery bags I had, actually. The one time I bothered looking at my stats. I was like, I wonder if I have like a bajillion mystery bags. I never opened them.
The best way to do it is just keep typing the command until you can't do it anymore.
But isn't there a bit of a timer?
I think there's like a minute or something like that for cooldown.
Yeah. By that time, we're into another game, and I forget, so...
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't have all the bags open, because we're so busy casting. I'm like I'm not tabbed out spamming mystery bag and cooldown. I will, however, tab out for the arena. Also, oh, that's right. We can do bets for this. I forgot about this. All right, hang on. Okay, so the way this works, guys, bets are a little bit different here than they were in the past with this new bot. Basically, you just bet whether you agree with or disagree with my statement. So I'm going to start bet saying, I think Cure will win. Because I'm a disgusting Terran lover. And now you guys can bet to either agree or disagree, and when we pay the bets out at the end, that's what it's based off of. So whether you agreed that you think Cure will win, whether you disagree and you think Solar will win, And that's how you, yeah, it's pretty neat. I like that it has a betting system. Of course, it needs to be said, these points are just points. They're imaginary internet points. They don't actually, they have no value, etc., etc.
Etc. All right, so now that Gothabot has been explained, this is a best of 5 final TvZ. We just saw Solar borderline, yeah, borderline dismantle Keen. Lost one game because he tried an all-in and it didn't quite work. Well, that happens. The other 3 macro games were quite convincing from our Zerg player, but Cure is kind of another beast. Well, that's annoying. The Marines were out scouting, not protecting their SCV, but that is a very limited delay, and they get the blings anyway. But yeah, Cure being a different beast, man. He's like really, he looks very, very, very solid at this matchup. Rogue took him out yesterday in the Lima League because Rogue looks even more solid in the matchup. Called that one correctly. So I'm going to try and call this one. I think Cure takes this actually against Solar. But, yes.
By the way, for the bet thing, just make sure you guys are aware, it does confirm whether your bet has entered or not. So if you don't see the bot confirming your bet, then it's not been confirmed. And don't be surprised when the payouts go and you're like, where's my name on that list?
Alright. That's a nice feature of it.
Solar, you know, we talked about last time, right? Really consistent with scouting. Really good with fast overlord speed. I'm actually really happy about this too because so many people are reluctant. I think the debate has still gone on ever since Wings of Liberty, right? Where even after overlord speed was introduced to hatch tech, it was that point of saying like, look, if you get a layer at an appropriate time, you'll have an overseer fast enough that speed won't matter. But I do think speed matters, and it's huge when you're trying to scout Terran players who are, let's say, well versed in their builds.
Yeah. It was a huge discussion back when you had talk shows, the cemented talk shows anyways, inside the game, state of the game, whatever. Because I remember like Adria had like the biggest problem with whether or not Zerg could actually scout. It was the good old days.
Well, that dude couldn't even tell when real units were in front of him.
Well, I mean, that's the point of hallucinations, isn't it? But yeah. So, Solar just being very thorough about every single game so far. I think we've seen him go for the Overlord speed. But this isn't so much a surprise, you know? Like, this wasn't an armory hidden somewhere like it was for Keen. It wasn't based around the Hellbats. It really was just a small little push that would catch a person who was droning a little bit too hard. And Solar wasn't really droning that hard. He just didn't have a lot of units, so it took him a little while. Now has enough. Should be able to deal with this no problem. But, you know, also an important thing to note, see here in the army, it is roaches.
Yeah. Those, of course, are much scarier when they're Ravagers, but for now, everything he has should hold. 3 Queens, the Roaches, the Lings, shouldn't be too big of an issue. He might not be able to split, though. He's about to be perhaps torn in 3 directions. If these Hellions run into the natural, well, this continues to pressure the north, and the livery sits up at the south, Solar will take losses somewhere. But the Hellions in the middle of the map aren't moving. Livery's only getting a couple of kills.
Yeah. It's a distraction tactic. You know, it could maybe have done a little bit better, but oh well.
Small attempt at a counterattack, but the wall was met, so these Lings just run away. Drop up here also falls back. Cure, by the way, still not sure if he's... Okay, actually, I take that back. With upgrades now, he's definitely going bio.
Yeah. Cure can definitely play mech, but...
Yeah, I've got a lot more confidence. Like, again, I'm not trying to smack talk Keen. I like him. He's a good player. But I don't have confidence in his mech. It definitely feels like he's just recently gotten to the swing of it. Cure, though? Cure, the first time we saw him play mech, there was confidence. There was, like, very smart play. Like, he knew what he was doing, and it was very clear.
He was really getting on our, you know, favorite list back when mech was the thing to do in Heart of the Swarm. So for me, Cure, I think a Cure I always identify him with long mech games against Swarm hosts on Overgrowth. With a lot of command centers, for instance. Unfortunately, you know, soon after they kind of died out, which makes me really sad. And I thought he even retired at one point because he really didn't appear in anything. But I'm glad to see that he's back, and he does still throw out the mech.
Well, it's a little more clear to us now too that like it's not that he retired, but maybe just Jenner didn't let him do many things. For some reason, that team very restrictive, even with Kespa being gone.
Yeah, and I'd say that I see Maru less than a lot of other people, but I still see him more than I saw Cure. Cure just wasn't getting in at any tournaments at all. without IEMs to like make it, you know, the biggest deal in the world that he defeated Innovation 2-0 in a qualifier. The fact that he never actually made it to a tournament made Cure just look like he wasn't even around anymore. But that is different now. And obviously we're seeing him here today. This is like this 3rd or 4th finals after only like 2 weeks back into the online play. So clearly kept his skill up.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Although,
Solar.
be nice if he was a foreign Terran. Feels bad. Korea, we got enough of you guys. Give one to the foreigners.
Nah, man, it's okay.
They keep just taking all the good god genes from the Terrans.
All right, this is with this Korean Terran. That should be a phrase that is cemented for so long, and it's such a powerful phrase
Well,
that it is put into the esports dictionary Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. It's either a lot of very famous people hanging on walls or a lot of suspicious characters that were never caught.
I almost nailed it.
Well, I was gonna say too, what's great about this game, Solar, man, that creep spread is looking good. And Cure had been going out of his way to try to clean some of it up. But, like, we're almost at 50% of the map being covered in creep.
Yeah. Certainly his aggression was all based around, you know, the drone lines. So there wasn't really any units attacking the creep spread. And the queens weren't distracted enough either to stop creep spread. So a bit of a double whammy leads to a lot of creep on the map. But the path of attack, obviously one scan already cleans up quite a lot of it. So he might be able to move forward inch by inch. It's obviously this big old area in the middle that he has to actually get past first before he's any threat to the roaches, and he's not going to try and take that. Especially without combat shields. He's going to have to wait. One of the few times we'll see these rocks broken. What it is, it's not broken very often.
Kind of forgot rocks were there, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah. TVTs, I feel like are the most often that I break them, I guess, because 4 or 5 bases come down on this map, long TVTs, etc., etc. But
well, if you can't break your enemy, you might as well break some rocks.
That's what I think every time. You know, that's my frustration. It's my punching bag whenever I'm playing against a mech player.
Oh, you can't see the movement speed of a speeded medevac that has units inside of it. Break on the north side completely destroys Cure's attack, but Cure in the main with a lot of Marines is going to shred that queen, kill these drones, maybe even get away with a little bit more like the lair. Oh, this would be a big pick. He doesn't care about the circlings. He's just focusing it down.
All right, lair's going to go down. But it would have been so much better had it been taken down before an important upgrade had finished. 2-2, centrifugal hooks, that was already done. There's really not that much benefit to killing the lair.
I look at it too like an interesting base snipe, because Solar still actually needs those gases. Otherwise, you could just have left it dead. It might not have mattered.
Yeah, he definitely should retake it, but it's not really that bad of a time here. He has 5 bases, well, 4 without the main. That if he really needed the gas, he can just take them over there.
So Medevac's trading the best he can. Mutas, maybe a couple of them going to bleed out. There's still a drop in the top right he can go back in with at some point. So we're kind of chilling there for a while. But this drop survives. That's astonishing.
Yeah. Very surprised. Even did get one of the mutas on the backside. Cure has so much more creep spread to chew through before he can really be aggressive again, though, and that's gotta feel bad. He's gonna have to retreat. He doesn't have a pad army supply, but it's not sieged. Okay, yeah, Solar without any banelings. Definitely shouldn't take that fight off with creep. That's fine enough for Cure. He's okay with that. Main base is going to be an attack, but a very weak medevac, and once again, just emphasizing this doesn't seem to be as much of an important point as it could be. Upgrades are here, 20 drones are here, infestation pit's here. I guess the spawning pool is bleeding out, and he is going mutilating bling, so yeah, Cure should probably target that of all things.
Yeah, it goes back with the main medevac too. It was so sick. We got Thor's coming into play. I think this will definitely help against the muta problem. Of course, it could be those giant walls on the front line too.
Thor?
Usually it looks weird, but I was just gonna say having a couple of these out, not just for the mutas, but just to soak banelings wouldn't be bad. There's actually a lot more Marines, I guess, than there are Marauders. There's still enough Marauders though. I don't know.
Thors are such a comfort blanket for me personally. I always see them and I think they're gonna do a lot of good work, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But At the sacrifice of splash damage, basically, is what it's coming down to. Not tank production and not Widowmine production.
That's true.
And I know recently we saw a game where Innovation, despite not really having the best army, typically against late game Ultras, was able to still beat them because his splash of his Widowmine took out all the support units for them.
I kind of forgot. Yeah, that's the dumb game where he just had like pure Marines or like a couple Widowmines.
Yeah, but he was using 3 at a time, so he just always had enough, right? Like, but it was an important effect to get rid of any support for the Ultras, means that you can snipe them and target them and kite against them.
Yeah, my fear here actually lays at the Ravagers more than anything else, too. Those Corrosive Biles can be so dangerous. They don't have a lot of actual weapon upgrades, but they don't need them with that spell attack. Well, poised outside the base and putting a lot of pressure on. Solar's lost a lot of that creep spread. He's band-aided some of the stuff he lost earlier, but there's that clear attack path rally down the middle where Cure doesn't have to deal with the creep anymore.
No, he doesn't. He managed to make a way through all the creep, and it is going to be very important as the game continues.
The mutas. Bailey's coming for the backside, trying to catch the Marines, thinking they'd run away. Oh, there's not that many Bailey's left. Tank saves them. But the Marines are still going to die. The medevacs are running. Move speed is 5.9, by the way.
So they're faster than...
They are faster than Swarm Host, but only barely.
Cure does absolutely need to retreat. That could have been a much worse fight, I think, considering that Solar had, you know, kind of a 270, 200 degree, whatever, surround there. It was pretty good for him, but some good target fire from whatever tanks Cure had left over managed to at least trade a little bit better.
Yeah,
not at too terrible of a supply.
The last blast of that one tank to take out the Bailings was the only reason the Marines could continue to fight at all, but I think one of the big things for Solar we don't want to overlook was he did kill the Thors. Like, he removed the bigger parts of the equation from this. He got a lot of tanks for that fight too. These are harder units for Cure to justify making more of. Like, one Thor here and there you'll see most Terran players do. I don't think we're going to see him continue producing 2 at a time. It's just too expensive.
And I'm not sure it's really the right option either. As sturdy as they are and as much they can help deal with the mutas, if it's going to be about a direct fight, like the Marines are going to be, they should be plentiful enough to deal with them too.
I'm really surprised that there hasn't been Widowmines, like, at all.
Right. I mean, he's stuck on tanks. It's not too often we see it, but this game started off with Solar showing roaches. So Cure went tanks.
Yeah, that's true.
Solar changed off of it, and Cure did not, and that might hurt him, especially since he cannot get his tank count up to that truly scary count. 3 Widowmines can kill 40 Lings and 10 Banelings and be absolutely worth it. 4 tanks, I don't know if that's the same thing. They all target fire on one little clump, and that's like 10 Banelings gone, but not the Lings.
Oh no, big run by. Raised the second set of depots at the last moment.
He's responding fairly quickly. He had reinforced at the 3rd base. This really wasn't so bad. Could have been worse. And Cure's continuing to expand in a pretty aggressive manner. I mean, Solar is also expanding, so even if he did lose that top base, he'd be able to move the drones away. So I'm not too worried for him, but I like Cure's thought process.
Cure's going for Ghost Academy as the way to deal with the Ultras. So what's funny is this might work in a weird way. Normally you got Infestors that completely block out the Ghosts. You know, Fungal Growths go down, cancel the snipes, but there's none of that. There's no Infestors. There's been no Widowmines, there's been no Infestors. This is like the least typical CVT we've cast in God knows how long.
It does feel like sometimes Zergs just straight up forget about Infestors though in late game. This isn't the first time I've seen a lot of Infestors.
I wouldn't say Solar's the type of guy to forget something like that. But also Ghosts are just not so common anymore, so he might not be thinking he needs them. We'll probably see him make them as a reaction later, but this run by the bunker going to try and snipe off the Banelings. Looks like it will be good, but the Ultra still needs to be dealt with.
Well, the Muta's going to swoop in and take out the SCVs. They should. They're going to go for the Ghost Academy instead.
No, I like this choice a little bit more, to be honest. I think the Ghosts are the bigger threat at the end of the day, but he's also just kind of left the Muta someone on AFK because while this was going on, Cure did kill a base, and Solar's been trying to cut off reinforcements over here as well. There's a lot of action going down on the map at the moment.
He swoops back in to get the Ghost Academy, loses a couple of mutas for it, but continues to wreak havoc in the main base, kills a reactor on the starport.
He rebuilds at the same spot!
It was perfect where it was.
Perfect to get sniped by mutas.
Right? I'm quite worried for Cure's positioning here. He did end up getting that base, as you said, but I feel like only because Solar wasn't really... You know, he was busy trying to snipe a Ghost Academy, he was busy trying to do a run by. Now he can focus entirely on the middle of the map, and Cure wisely moves. He was kind of in the most surroundable spot possible, now up against maybe more of a ledge, but his tanks aren't sieged. The Banelings were so close to sacrificing themselves in the tanks, he's had to pull back. It was a little bit awkward.
Cure's production is starting to get compromised again. This sucks with these run-bys. The mutas are still a big threat, too. It's really tough defending against all this.
It is. The entire left side of the map has really just been Solar's playground.
Oh!
There's been no scouting from Cure over there.
No more Thors, by the way. Armory just went down. It's weird for this to be a case where it's money that's not the issue for once, right? Like, Cure's got a great mineral bank, but he's super supply blocked from his wall getting destroyed. He didn't replace that. 2 command centers is not going to bridge that gap either. So his production is literally 0 while he's stuck on this supply block, and that's going to maybe kill Cure more than anything else will.
It definitely hurts. Hurts his momentum, hurts his chances at holding.
If Solar realized he could just sit in the main. There's nothing actually being produced from the barracks because of that supply blocks. There's nothing that will take care of those mutas if he sits in the main with them. But there's no way for him to know that.
Yeah, and it looks like Cure has Marines.
Oh, no! Well, he'll get the Ghost Academy one way or another. See you in hell.
Ling's flooding in here. I mean, they're equal upgrades, but it looks like maybe the Marine Clump is going to be enough. That was a lot of Lings. I'm surprised they worked out that way.
Well, still 23 SCVs died.
Yeah. I mean, he has 5 command centers if they were... No, he has 6, actually. No, 5. I kind of corrected the first time. If they were landed and producing, so he could probably remake them pretty quickly, but he needs to get to actual mining bases. He's mined out of his 3rd, doesn't have a natural, mined out of his 4th. It's his 5th and his 6th.
So in the back of this game, I think I'm Jack's High has been trying to mug people, but he can't seem to do it. And I love the best piece of advice. He's like, how to mug, clearly asking like how to use the command. And someone was like, pick a weak target. Genius!
Not wrong.
Well, this game is going to boil down to where I think it's going to be a little bit too tough for Cure to really bounce back from this. I don't think he'll hit 200 supply again this game. But he does have Ghosts, and he's got means to deal with the Ultralisks. But the funny thing is, Ultras haven't been the problem for him this game. It's been these Lings and these run-bys and the Banelings and the Mutalisks.
That is true. But eventually, if you know, thinking about that one final push to try and win it all as they continue committing to more and more Lings to counter, Ghosts are going to be one of the reasons you might win with that final push, especially since now there's the added complication of Broodlords, and without a heavy starport production or already a heavy air Viking force, Ghosts is the only answer he has against that. He has 8 Ghosts, going on 9. That's a decent amount if they all get their snipes off.
Oh man, concern I have here now is twofold. One, apparently the Korean server might go down before we're done with the games for the update, because they need to update to Season 3.
Yeah.
So we may end up watching the second game in the series a little bit fast. I don't know if it's 5 games or 3 games or 4 games, guys, but like we may end up watching a little bit on fast forward to compensate for this. But anyways, yes. Broodlords are going to be a big problem here. This is something like Cure's been so ready to fight the Ultras. Now, granted, Ghosts will still work on Broodlords, but there's no Vikings. There's no real anti-air, and even if there was, there's Corruptors to cover it. So, like, this just looks so good for Solar.
The Ghosts, even if they try to snipe, I think they're just in too vulnerable of a position. Realizing it now, trying to pull them back, keep them alive.
Solar kind of wasted the Banelings, though. I mean, that's funny. It ran a planetary. You had to know that wasn't going to go well.
You know what? Not many of them went down. Ian tried EMPing, I think, on mistake.
Yeah, he doesn't want the Overseers to drop Changelings, obviously.
They are super annoying when they do that. I don't even know how you EMP accidentally to be like. There's no other hotkey that's E. Oh, whatever. GG.
GG. Maybe it's like a reverse Red Bull thing. Like, you know, you drink a Red Bull to get some energy. You're like, oh, I'll make these units really tired. I'll EMP them.
Sure.
Okay, I'll go get this second replay down there real quick, guys. But like I said, we may just end up fast forwarding through this one a little bit, just in the early game at least, to save some time. Either way, we'll be back here in 2 minutes. Sit tight for more of the finals. We'll see you soon. All right, folks, we're back. We've had to change the way we're doing this, and let me explain here. This had nothing to do with the ad break. The servers went down while we were still in that other game. And it's not that the servers are unplayable, it's the fact that there's no servers to host games right now because they're taking all of this down and updating. So we can watch these replays solo, but not together, which means we've got to really go back in time here. If you guys remember the days of old where you had to like count down to sync the replays because you're both watching them solo and there was no watch together option, that's the period of time we're going. I should make everything black and white now just to like, really nostalgify this. But
nah, you should put the default overlay on.
No. Okay, so we're in game. Everything's paused. All right, we're at the 0 second mark of the game. Oh, that's cool. Did you know larva? Look at the larva. They're like not even properly spawned. They're like coming out of the ground. But okay.
They spawn? Yeah.
We gotta count this now. Can you go to another server? No, we can't because the Korean server and these replays are not functional on the new server because the other servers were updated before the Korean server. So it makes this so terrible. Okay, so on the count of 3, not 1, 2, 3, go. It's just gonna be on 3. Okay.
Alrighty then.
1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Get number 2 in the top right. I hate you, Zombie Grub. In the top right, it's Splices Solar, up 1 game in this best of 5 finals.
Whoa, this is so eerie. I was gonna troll. Continue to say he's sitting on a CV out, but he actually did. In the bottom left, as the yellow Terran, it's Cure.
All right, so 3 racks, maybe just 2. Actually, no, Cure was doing just 2. He was just doing 2 racks, not 3 for the Reapers. And then doing the quicker factory follow-up to it. This will be actually really interesting to see if he does follow through with 3. I only bring this up to note because, like, nobody's really using these barracks as all-in anymore. The Korean Terrans especially never were in the first place. A lot of foreign Terrans, you know, they'll go like 13 to 19 Reapers. Korean Terrans are like cutting it at 9. So Cure going like maybe a little bit light on this and just plays more macro behind it. At least that's what he seemed to do last time.
Yeah, that's kind of accurately sums it up. I'm still not really convinced as to, well, I'm not convinced of anything, I suppose. Like, it seemed to be okay enough. He worked, it didn't work, it was 50-50, whatever. I just wonder why. Like, I'm not quite sure what to explain why this would be better or worse, or why it's still a good option to open up with, but also play economics with. Well, like, I don't know.
I love the idea that there's some degree of this where he's investing in the future. Like, if Reapers get their costs increased, you can only afford to really do 2 barracks with a production. It's like all these idiots got trained in muscle memory for 3. I'm ahead of it. I'm playing chess, but they're playing checkers.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. No, I feel like there's something to be said about, you know, there is that faster economics, but you still get the defense properties. Because, like, everyone thinks of multiple Reapers as offense. You know, bullshit, I gotta defend this as a third player. You know, it's really hard to defend against whatever. But, I mean, it does give you a faster natural wall. So you don't have to worry about potential Ling run-bys later on in the game. You know, those tricky ones that happen not quite as you're finishing your command center, blah, blah, blah. But it's also, you know, Reapers can do effective against most early game pushes. They really have to commit hard to make it work against Reaper openers. You know, basically all in, right? And even then you can try and make it work. And especially with what Cure's doing, because he can get a faster factory. And even, like, have more preparation against what could be aggressive. So I don't know, those so far my thoughts on it, but I really don't know. I think Cure's so far the only guy that's doing it.
By the way, just a public announcement. We've just opened the Grand Arena. Ooh, Reaper gets caught there. That's unfortunate.
Terrible.
Grand Arena just opened up, though, so get in while you can so I can kill all of you, only to die in the finals, because it seems to be what happens every time we do this. So the Reapers are still working away at this best they can. Losing one early kind of sucks. It does take away a lot of momentum, especially with that longer cooldown on the grenade. The grenade cooldown issue kind of disappears when you're sitting on like 5 or 6 Reapers, but yeah, being on 3, he's got to be kind of careful how he uses these.
Yeah. I mean, Cure has done borderline no damage before with this opener and still just backed off and kept his Reapers alive, so maybe he's not too disgruntled.
I'm really interested in Solar not going to the main with these Overlords, by the way. He knows there's not going to be anti-air. He could scout the mech build right now. Or well, not mech build, but I mean he could scout. Period is what I mean. I think he fat fingered a factory there. It wasn't a starport initially. I'm not crazy.
I was like, you saw the future. You spoiled this game, didn't you?
No, I saw him misclick the factory, and then I was like, oh, it's a starport. That's sad. I got really excited because I like Gear's mech. I really do. I think he's quite good with it.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what the second, third, fourth map. Well, wait, we know what the second map is sequencer. If this is a different map, and depending on what the other map's gonna be, I could definitely see him throwing out mech. But not here, not right now. Our Reapers are gonna be caught. Unfortunate shit.
Can't kill me if I kill myself.
You can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah. Alright, well the Reapers do end up dying out. Really unfortunate, and I guess they did bait Morlings out of his opponent, but Cure's still going Reapers. Like,
I mean, he did have that Reaper Hellbat push, but there's no armory, so I don't know. I don't know what his plans are. A fast third base on location. Bold move, considering how many Lings are still out in play, but I guess he's thinking the Reaper Hellion combo, even in the lower numbers, will be fine enough, soon enough. Solar's heading right towards the third base, though.
map hacks.
Very unfortunate time.
Oh, he's not gonna see it. He actually misses it.
Oh.
Oh my god, are you serious? He misses it entirely. Now he's gonna pull back and deal with the Reapers, probably.
Okie dokie then. One Ling, come on now. But of course, I think for him, he's like, who in the world would ever put a third CC on location?
Right? Okay, that's too funny to see. Reapers and Hellions back off for the time being as the Liberator heads out too. Lings do pounce on some of the reinforcing Hellions, so this is a nice catch for them. It's a really nice catch, actually.
Are we just synced already?
What time yet?
5:41.
5:45, 5:46, 5:47, 5:48.
How?
No, you know the one streaming is the one that's supposed to fall behind.
I don't know, man. I was trolling. I actually started on 3.
No, I don't know then, dude. Just hit fast forward for like a second or two, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I did that.
I super duper missed when this was a thing, and I'm so glad we're reliving the past.
Did you have to remind your co-caster to fast forward, or they just were just like, oh, I guess we're screwed there?
No, it used to be one of you would pause while the other would catch up, but I'm not pausing. This is a no break zone, zombie grub.
I would always make the other person speed up.
Really? No, I always thought it made more sense for the person who paused to pause until
with the person streaming.
Because I had to do this with Maynard recently for the VSL stuff. We got desynced on that.
Well, that makes sense, I think, for a YouTube video, right? Because you can't really fast forward a YouTube video if you're desynced.
Yeah. All right. Well, Reaper's gonna come back up. I'm surprised these things are still alive, but they're still looking to get something done here. Keep the spine from burrowing for a second. Hellbats get in now. Not enough banelings for this. Solar needs round 2, which are hatching in just a moment, but the spine core is going to be dead before it even gets a shot off.
Yeah, bought some time, and 5 banelings is probably going to be enough. Even with the split, the queens come down from the main and are going to take care of this. And the sacrifice of quite a few lings, sure, but not that much else, and he already had a decent economy.
Oh, he's getting denied to stim! Oh my god. And 2 live. That's enough to kill some SCVs.
Maybe 5 go down here? He's trying to go for the gold. Yeah,
wow,
there you go, 5.
Did you see the future? What the fuck?
I'm just that smart, man. Thank you.
I don't remember paying you a compliment, but you're welcome.
I heard you think it.
What am I thinking right now?
Butts.
Yes! Oh my god! She has the power!
I was also going to go with, how do you hear my thoughts? Sorry.
She's the Messiah!
I really am.
Well, how
I'm
do you
gonna be
hear my
a
thoughts?
good Messiah too. Like not like that dick in Misfits.
No, it'd be the worst too. Like if someone could actually read your mind, you knew it, because you constantly be around them thinking like, "Don't think about how you're looking at her boobs. Don't think about how you're looking at her boobs."
No, yeah, exactly. Like,
at her boob.
Speaking of Misfits, I thought she had the worst power ever. Like I like that idea of the backlash of being able to, you know, I like when that's explored, but I also just like, it makes me realize like I never want to be able to hear what people think.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh yeah.
Like even if I could turn it on and off, I still wouldn't want to.
Yeah. Well, this attack goes very badly for Cure. Gets cleaned up pretty easily and only gets 2 drone kills for it. This should have been so much better than it ended up being. Very unfortunate for him there. Both his attacks deflected, and Solar still sits on 75 drones. And he's taking another base. I mean, he knows that Sequencer's a big, long map. It'll take Cure forever to attack no matter where he attacks. So Solar can really afford to play greedy like this.
Oh, yeah. He's deflected every single attack. He canceled Stim, and he knows it. There's been no Stim activated, so he definitely knows it. And there's, you know, without Stim, there really is no reason to worry. Forget about the army supply. Without Stim, it's nothing.
Yeah,
it looks like Cure is just going to try and time out all the other upgrades, though, kind of with Stim, so that when he does finally push, it'll be with a very powerful army.
So that's a big part of why that drop was just so lackluster, you could say. Like, without Stim, you just can't do much, and we joked about the muscle memory before, but I wonder if that was part of it. Like, Cure goes in for the big attack, he dedicates to trying to kill drones, kind of realizes he has Stim after he hits T, and it does nothing.
Man, that's the worst feeling in the world, is when you hit T and it does nothing.
It did it right now. It did nothing.
Damn.
Oh, no, it's turning on the structure stab. Never mind. I'm kidding.
Okay. That's a large Ling run by. That's even going to capture a Thor here, potentially cancel
Actually,
claws.
That's a big point because they're... Oh, nice pickup on the Thor. Keeps it alive a little bit longer. Marine should be able to clean up the Mutas, but he's going to lose the base for it, and that's not going to be something he can really make up too easily. But, oh, Drilling Claws too. Yeah, I was really looking forward to him to use Widow Mines this game, and so much is just a consequence. Like, that depot was down. Like...
Yeah. Why even have that there, you know? So that's quite unfortunate. A lot of essential tech lost to, you know, maybe it doesn't come this fast usually, maybe, right? Like, you can take that delay in the Drilling Claws, so be it. But considering that his Stim was also delayed and his momentum was pushed off and is continuing to be pushed off, and now he also doesn't have Drilling Claws or a third base, building a third and a fourth right now. It's bad game here for Cure.
So you're live in the arena.
I am. Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh.
We both died.
Son of a gun.
But at least we did at the same time. I'd like to think we killed each other.
Or we had each other's backs and fought valiantly only to die together.
Well, it's not a group thing, so I don't know, man.
You know, I feel like if I do that in PUBG too. Like, I try and like convince someone to join me before I kill them. Usually just end up killing them.
Like that's like Mafia rules, right? Or Risk rules or whatever. Like, you're not supposed to have alliances, but they're probably the best thing you can do in the initial stages of the game, and then you gotta kill each other after.
Worse, yeah, I got killed by Dares.
Ugh. That kid?
I'm like triple unhappy with Dares right now. And this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. He killed me with a claymore. I don't even know if that's like a sword or like the explosive device you set on the ground.
I was gonna say, isn't that like a grenade or whatever? It's a manga, I think. Thanks, Google.
Yo, that's a creepy ass anime too.
I actually really enjoyed the manga, but it takes forever for an action manga to update if it updates once a month. There ain't no story. 5 months all action. Not worth.
It was like that with Katana Gatari. It was a great show. Came out 1 month at a time though. Oh god, it was painful. It was such a good show. Alright, top left's gonna get that drop going in. Mutas could come back and clean this up though. There's more than enough of them. Cure's
the links are on it. Everything's on it.
Cure's got like a decent army supply, right? And he's got like a pretty okay upgrade situation going, but it just doesn't feel like he's got any power in this game. The Widow Mine drops flopped. He was denied so easily at his third. Like, the command started going down early really hurt. In fact, what's the income graph looking like right now? Yeah, it's all solar, baby. Mountains and mountains of solar.
Of course. I am surprised that Cure even has an almost maxed out army. His third base was made a planetary. His fourth is made an orbital. I guess I actually really like the decision. You usually don't get this, you know, an opportunity like this because you want the mineral base as your third. But you don't want a planetary as your third. So now that you kind of had to reset and you had the option, then this would make a lot more sense as a planetary.
Easy solution. Build 3 orbitals in the main and make your natural base the planetary.
So the third's still in orbital. We still have that problem.
Well, you can still make the third a planetary too, though. I'm just saying, like.
So you just have 3 orbitals in the main for no reason, just mules.
It's so that you can justify putting the planetary at your third. All right, he might be able to get these upgrades, by the way. If he shuts down 3-3, this, I don't know that Cure recovers from this. He is attacking on the other side of the map, though, but I think Solar's getting the upper hand because Cure's push is slow. +3 weapons denied, +3 armor about to be denied. Attack at the front line. The Thors are going to body block out the Bailings. Solar actually just pulls back entirely.
Okay, well, that was surprisingly effective with the Thors in the front lines, but Cure's attack is still very desperate, and it still is on a limited time. To roll in. Failing by Bailing, it taken out by the Marines.
Okay, maybe I'm not feeling so bad for Cure, but as Solar pulls back, he'll crush this army, and he knows denying those upgrades was huge.
Oh, God. There's an overwhelming Zerg force. Oh, God.
Okay, even that considered, the Mutas still catch the medevacs. They got the one with the Thor! Well,
that's
it's the
close to game anyway. I mean, Cure lost his natural this time. If only he had an extra orbital.
Or a planetary. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, genius!
This Lynx.
This game.
Lynx wouldn't have been a problem. You know what? On top of that, here's the real trick. All right, hear me out. This real strategy I'm talking about, right? Go building armor on top of all of that. Ooh, nothing dies. Everything lives forever.
Wow. I like your strats. I think they're gonna be beautiful. They're gonna be using GSL next season.
Where's my my riff logics in chat, huh? I know I got a couple of my subs here.
Yeah. Oh, Kira's trying to take another base. He's down by 40 army supply, which doesn't sound that bad. You know, maybe a couple good Widow Mines or something like that, but he really doesn't have that many Widow Mines. There are ultras on the way, so that means that any army supply deficit or even an even army supply is gonna look quite bad. I guess he has Widow Mines kind of spread around now, so he does have more than I thought. I don't think that matters. Ultras up, Chitinous plating by the time Cure really pushes in, and Solar set up another counter with a lot of Banelings. He's gonna crash in that planetary.
Yeah, he's not gonna give a good gosh darn about that planetary. And it's Ibix Canyon, I think it's called? Yeah, stupid name. Of course, the best part about this is he can crash into the planetary on the side with the SCVs, catching them. No repair, no chance for repair. Thor goes down too. Top left Cure's got a pretty nice attack setup, but I don't think he can handle Solar's Remax. Like, anything Solar loses, he rebuilds at this point. Cure's just bleeding out any chance of income. He did get a new base here from his main floated over, but, the army's getting crushed once again. The Ultras come in. Bailings from the left side, too. They squeeze past the Thors. They dive for the Marines. Horrific death sounds as the Terran army gets annihilated. GG. 2-0 now for Solar, and he's looking real good against Cure here in the finals. Cure's ZV, or not Cure, excuse me. Solar's ZVT is already just good in general, but man, really showing it here versus Cure. The snipe on the stem, like, hurt to watch as a Terran, love to watch it as a Solar fan.
Yeah. Well, I thought Cure was going to take a better stance in this series, but I guess he has potentially a few more games to go.
Yeah, I mean, I believe Cure, I believe most Korean Terrans, but I believe Cure has the chance to bring this back. Whether he does or not, we'll see. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll get the third game loaded up. We'll see you guys here in just a moment. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, we're back again, and you're going to get to see the awkward countdown as we try to sort this out. Before that, though, I want to give some love to Flatterick81. Just joined us with Twitch Prime. Welcome to the Base Trade Brigade. Fencer _ for 4 months is Rip Cure. Then we had Wave the Silent for 26 months. I got him. Coach was another Prime sub. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoy the show, hit the follow button. It's a bit of a short show today. I know, as we're already through these finals, and it's 2-0. This could be the last game. We'll find out whether it is or isn't here in a moment. Keep in mind, we don't know the results either, guys. It's spoiler-free thanks to our admin Dares helping collect the replays for us. But that being said, Zombie Up, are you loaded in at the 0 point?
Yeah.
All right, then on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. As stated, it is 2-0 for this guy. Introducing the bottom right side of the map, is the red Zerg player, Solar. Whoosh.
And top left as the yellow Terran. Loves yellow, apparently. It's Cure.
Woo. Okay, also,
Yeah.
while we get into this, I know we've been really appreciative of the subs, of the people donating, everybody helping contribute to the prize pool and all that good stuff today. But if you can, hit that follow button, guys. It's free, it costs you nothing, and it helps us out as we're trying to march towards 100,000 followers.
It's a cool number. I'm also thinking that yellow is kind of attributed with like healers, right? But I can't remember why. Or what I'm
Yellow and
thinking
healers? I don't know that I've heard that. I would think red, if anything, just because of the like Red Cross and all that.
Nah, red's like red mages. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
right.
the chat
Sorry,
will
I
help me out
thought
here.
we were using real world logic. I didn't realize we were using Final Fantasy logic. That's my mistake.
Well, just like fantasy logic in general, or like old game logic. But like, for me also, I think that if I thought of a real life medic or something, I would think white, right? But I think it a D for the Twitch Prime sub.
That's either a bunch of teeth or death and a cute way of spelling it.
Well, it's not cute way, it's just wrong way. No one would pronounce that death. Action shoe for the Twitch Prime sub as 2.
I am the Reaper, Lord of Death.
Maybe he's got a little, you know, kingdom in Deef.
Take a couple
Yeah, is that
octaves
wrong?
higher, be a minion, man.
Why
I'm
are
not-
rogues yellow, Wolf of the Bees? Why?
By the way, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I do really want to see Despicable Me 3. Have you seen
Me
this
too.
yet? Maybe
No, I haven't seen the movies.
maybe this is something we can do in Atlanta because I don't know any friends here who want to see it. Everyone says it's a kids movie. And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's also great.
I don't know. I'll probably pass on that.
Damn it.
Sorry.
I'll be all alone in the theater. Well, I'll go buy VIP seating, so at least I'll be comfortable when I'm alone.
Hey there, yeah.
Get super drunk. There we go.
I mean, there's something better than a drunk guy who bought out the VIP seat in a children's movie alone.
I don't even know if it would be in the VIP theater, to be honest. It doesn't feel like the type of movie that would.
Well, anything that's new, but it's not new anymore, so probably not. And do you even know if Atlanta has a VIP section? I've never
Well, you're not
seen a
interested
VIP
in going
section.
in Atlanta, so I'll just do it at home.
Oh, I thought you meant you were gonna go in Atlanta.
Nah. Yo, I'll tell you what I do want to see, though, when it comes out real bad. I don't know if anyone else is on this hype train. Atomic Blonde. Oh, that looks so good from the trailer. I really want to see that movie.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed it's not getting like the greatest reviews, but it's getting solid ones, so I'll probably still see it.
Man, I don't know. I've had a hard time trusting reviews lately. A lot of the movies I've actually enjoyed the most have gotten pretty bad reviews.
Nah.
No,
So
are you
far-
getting this?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I hit okay. We're fine.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. But I was gonna say, so far, if anything's below 50%, I've been as disappointed as I expect. Anything over, and it's like kind of hit or miss. That's my standard so far.
Okay, well, wasn't quite sure what would happen there, but yeah, so the Korean server now, I guess, officially down at this point for maintenance / updating to Season 3. Luckily, you can still watch replays without the client. It's just a little bit more of a headache, so if this goes to Game 4, we'll jump over that bridge. Maybe Solar closes it out 3-0. I honestly don't know, but we'll worry about it when we get to it, guys. For now, though, setting up on 3 bases. Takes no real damage from the early game. And I guess it's more... We kind of keep glancing past it, but like Cure's changing his builds most of these games around. This one, Raven, and I thought it was a fake for the Banshee, but he might actually be committing to this. Because he was trying to juke Rogue out with fake cloak builds, fake Banshee builds. Okay, he's actually faking it.
He faked for a very long time.
That's what made me think, like, is he actually going to commit to a Banshee? Like, that was like a 90-80% done cloak.
It was a while. Okay, well, I guess the whole plan was to cancel it, so it's neither here nor there. He is continuing on into bio. No real dedication and really aggression. Instead, a simple Hellion build, really, with the added addition of a Raven and a quick third CC. So, a bit more of an oldie but goodie macro build. More often we see something based around 2 bases for a little while longer. Goodbye, Reaper Body.
I like this guy in chat asking the 8-Ball, "What if you meet a stunning girl at the movies?" 8-Ball says definitely, but the problem is, will she want anything to do with me?
Yeah, right? You can meet them, but what's going to happen with it? Her and her 5 kids are going to tell you to move to another seat.
Well, if she's got 5 kids, maybe I'm not that interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not buying a used car here at the movie theater.
Jesus, dude. That's fucked up. But someone else brings up another good movie I want to see. Because I was worried this also would get just like terrible reviews, but it's gotten okay ones. So I want to see Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets.
Yeah, I'm jaded with this. I feel like that movie's either going to be phenomenal based on the way it looks, or it's going to be awful and will bomb out badly. Like, there's no middle ground for that one. It's
gotten decent enough reviews to make me believe that it's worth watching. Hey, plus, Fifth Element got really bad reviews, so anything by that guy, I just gotta assume is gonna be okay.
Valerian Manx and the Planet of 1,000 Core Halls.
God, no.
That guy is like such a dork. He's like one of the worst characters. Although, I will say I was surprised.
Thanks.
BlizzCon last year, there's a girl who cosplayed Matt Horner. She looked real good doing it too, but I was like, oh, this was not what I expected.
I have mixed feelings about
like,
this.
I see a cosplay for Stark, but I think like Raynor or Kerrigan or Tychus or not Matt Horner.
She looked at all of those and was like, you know what's a little less complicated than Kerrigan or Protoss units? Or Jim Raynor, even, because Jim has like a bunch of like accessories, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a military uniform. Yeah, I can get on board with that.
Alright, well, Security's getting some pretty good poke here, but he's not really accomplishing much with this just yet. Solar's not feeling pressured. He's still taking a 4th.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of been a major issue in the last 3 games that Solar has never seemed to really, truly feel pressure. He's had to deal with early attacks, early Reapers, early Hellbats, but every single time he was already at a good drone count or just ready to deal with it while still droning, and getting to a good economy. Curious did actually scare the guy.
Ooh.
Hot pick up there. That was close.
Hydra's like right on the tail of those medevacs. Like seriously, one step forward and that medevac dies. Creeps for diving so far forward is so obnoxious. I mean, this is something Solar's been pretty consistent about. So Cure unloading here in the middle is going to have to clean up a lot of tumors, burn some scans. That's never fun.
No. But it is part of the process of TvZ. That unit's kind of all over the place right now. And while Solar is able to get to a pretty powerhouse economy, Cure wasn't really that far behind with his much quicker third base than usual. Pretty fast upgrades too, with 2-2 starting. There you go. It could all come down to one big final push later on in the game, or maybe they'll get swamped by creep spread.
Small misclick out of Solar there. Oops. Alright, well, loading up with these medevacs, unloading them, like he's trying to decide where he really wants to go. We do have a couple Widow Mines in play. Maybe we'll get a good hit. Unlikely. Tank's definitely the better option when you're fighting against Hydras, but as we saw before, eventually Blinding Clouds come out, tanks become pretty garbage. So it's a hard choice to make, but for now they're the good one.
I actually am a little jaded. A little undecided, actually, is a better word. A little undecided on whether tanks or Widow Mines are the better option against Ling Baneling Hydra. Because unlike Roach Hydra, where I think tanks are clearly the option, or purely Roach Ravager, which I think tanks are clearly the option, Ling Baneling Hydra, you still got the Ling Baneling there. You still got the overwhelming amounts of tiny units that I feel Widow Mines just have the bigger splash potential against. And are faster to produce, and as such, more splash potential than tanks would be. He's got a mixture, so maybe that works.
Well, Bailey's trying to roll in, but the spread out of the Marines is pretty good on the south side, but there's more coming from the north. Picks up to get out of there. Cure almost having a really good fight on his hands. He at least traded out decently, to say the least, but man, he doesn't have a lot of momentum to follow this up. He needs reinforcements.
Drop over there, cleaned up. 4th base, 74% done. Cure's not hurting in supply. He did just lose his momentum. Pick up once again. A lot of creep spread was cleaned up, sure, but I imagine there's at least 1 or 2 queens available to try and spread that again.
I don't know what's up with this building pattern he's doing. It's like depots randomly all in the middle. He's putting 3 more barracks. I mean, it would be legitimately for later, but it's just like I just look at this as like easily bailing-able.
not. Like, you run past the chokes and it helps out. I think we've been seeing this more and more, which is why I'm so convinced that it's definitely on purpose.
It's the Zergling pachinko machine for the run-bys.
That's exactly what it is. I just imagine the, I don't know about pachinko, but imagine a pinballs, and that's the tanks with the little flippers.
Well, coming in from two different angles, big surround here absolutely annihilates the bio. Liberator's not going to do too much as the Hydra's get on top of them very quickly. Almost nothing to push this back. A couple of tanks. That's about it.
Okay, well that was a swamp and GG.
Well, on the upside, we don't have to worry about the Korean server problem anymore. I was actually getting a little bit of a stress tummy ache, thinking like, what are we gonna do about that? But okay, Solar, the 3-0, woo!
Yay!
And BattleNet is now kicking me off.
Get out of here, scrub.
Yeah, they're gonna, I guess, update the service to Season 3. So good to see some of the new maps over there too, which will be cool. But that will conclude today's tournament. So if you guys enjoyed the show, like I said, hit that follow button if you want to throw a couple of bucks towards the players. And now you know that one of them is Solar, especially. The Match Rando prize pool is still open. Other than that, thanks for watching the channel, and I hope you guys will definitely come back this weekend. So there's not going to be any real broadcast between now and the 22nd. I know that's a couple of days of downtime, which is really weird for us, but we're going to be now prepping to travel to Atlanta, where we'll be doing DreamHack. So July 22nd will be the open bracket. July 23rd will be the grand finals. We'll be posting about... Thank you very much for the bits, man. We'll be posting about all this through our social media, so the best thing you can do is follow us on both at BaseTradeTV, right? That'll be the generic BaseTradeTV tweets about what's going on. But most importantly, follow myself and Zombie Grub on Twitter. I'm at Riff_Kings. She's at ZG Gaming. And the best part about this is we'll be letting you guys know what we're doing. Maybe tweet out some of the fun stuff on the side that's not StarCraft related. But yeah, keep up with us in Atlanta through our Twitter is probably the best thing I could recommend. Other than that, people were asking, are you guys going to be casting the DreamHack channel? Not that I'm aware of, and not that I'm going to even try to allow happen. It should be happening all here on BaseTradeTV. So, I don't know. Unfortunately, it's a bit frustrating. We've got a majority of the important stuff under control, but we have a lot of information we still don't even have given to us because we're not part of the main DreamHack crew. So it'll be very interesting walking into this. I'm a little bit scared, but I think it'll be fun for the most part.
Yeah, I hope it is.
Other than that, I guess we'll send out the replay pack for this out in a little bit. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and we'll just run one last set of ads in the stream. So if you're taking off, goodbye. If not, we'll host somebody and give them some love. But take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.